Hello, what is happening, everybody, and welcome to Ninjas in Pajamas versus Team Empire, the last of this best of 5 series that we've been going on basically all day. Ninjas in Pajamas took game number 2 rather convincingly, at least in terms of getting the push done, and when it actually came to the fights, executing properly. So they're actually going to be going straight away, just banning out the IO Troll, and in terms of Empire, they're going to be banning out the Juggernaut and the Sniper. They didn't have a whole lot of luck on the Juggernaut as of last game, so they're just going to ban them out just for good measure. Queen of Pain and the Ogre Magi have been picked up, so Ogre with a lot of roaming gang potential, likewise with the Queen of Pain, at least when he gets his stuff done. Got the Vengeful Spirit and Lina as well. Vengeful Spirit absolutely excellent for setting up early kills with that semi-nuke, semi-stun magic missile. Plus you got the Lina as well, with the Light Strike Array and the Dragon Slave, able to pull out a lot of bursts on these Empire heroes. Ogre Magi is somewhat tanky in the early game, which makes him a solid candidate for tri-lane, which basically he can tank up some of the damage and be a bit more aggressive than other heroes. Axe now banned out from Team Empire. That is a very, very understandable ban out, as he was basically... It was problematic. Unison Fan played a super good Axe last game and took so much of his... basically took so much. Did miss a lot of the Quelling Blades, I must say, but he was still playing a super solid Axe. We do have Draw Ranger, also banned out by NIP, as they're probably slightly scared of her in terms of basically the Ogre Magi, I would expect, or maybe some of their common picks. Zeus now banned out from Team Empire as well. Basically, it's a global hero without actually having to be there. And NIP looking for their last ban here.
10 seconds remaining.
I would expect Troll, Sniper, Jugs have been banned out, so you got the 3 main carries out of the picture. Draw Ranger also starting to make her presence. Undying is going to be the ban out. Super strong tri-laner, especially up against some of the squissier heroes. So NIP looking to pick up maybe another support for their tri-lane here, as Queen of Pain will potentially go mid or in the off lane. I mean, when you draft a Queen of Pain, you never really know when she fits in or where she fits into the lineup. You know, somebody like an Ogre, he's definitely going to be in the tri-lane because, I mean, even dual lanes he struggles with. Tri-lanes, he's absolutely amazing.
5 seconds remaining.
You have Lina as well. Oh, it's going to be the Disruptor. It's definitely a tri-lane coming out here. Out from Ninjas in Pajamas, able to get some good glimpses. And the Thunderstrike, very, very good at level 1. Doesn't scale very well, though. It only scales at about 40 damage. Or not even 40, 20. 20 damage overall until it goes up to 100. And it's only about 400 damage in total, which takes a while to skill, so... Just right off the bat, it actually does some significant damage, but then kind of falls off. Glimpse, absolutely amazing when somebody's TPing in. Kinetic Field, good for trapping somebody like the Lina and the Vengeful Spirit. No swaps gonna be coming down on that, and especially spellcasters in general. This Disruptor absolutely excellent against even some carries in terms of, for instance, Troll and Juggernaut. Shadow Fiend now picked up. That's a hero I don't think is particularly good against Disruptor, because he works a lot in raises as well, in terms of getting damage out. Templar Assassin's also going to be picked up, so that meld is going to definitely be a problem for the Shadow Fiend. So we might see something maybe like an early orb or something like that to try to deal with this Templar Assassin refraction. And it's one of the most solid mid laners in the game as of right now. Just able to do a ridiculous amount of work, and with not very much burn damage and a lot of nukes.
10 seconds remaining.
There's actually a chance that Team Empire might go for something like a Viper. It's gonna be a Slardar instead, which I'm not entirely agreeing on. It is good in terms of the melt. I'm not entirely sure if that actually breaks it or what it does, but it's relatively good up against TA. They have some form of damage coming out. At least they know where she melts, and then they can let go of the Requiem if the refraction is not on point.
5 seconds remaining.
But yeah, I would say that something like a Viper wouldn't have been a bad pickup. Just safe lane the Shadow Fiend, run Lina and Vengeful Spirit as supports, and then rotate a Viper mid, perhaps, or safe lane Viper. Just make sure to get him farm on him. and try to deal with this TA best as possible, because that's the best choice up from Ninjas in Pajamas currently. Queen of Pain should be going on the off lane. They can also choose to safe lane the Templar Assassin, but I'm thinking Templar mid as of right now. But then again, Shadow Fiend is the, or Queen of Pain is the direct counter to Shadow Fiend, so that might be the choice that they're actually looking to go for. Just try to get the Queen of Pain to match up against the Shadow Fiend wherever he goes. Slaughter is definitely going to be, not definitely. He does also work well on the off lane, because he has the sprint to try to get out, but doesn't work very well against lockdown heroes, because it amplifies the damage that you take. So what are we looking at here? We do have the Sand King banned out in IP. They did have some problem against the Sand King. It was not a whole lot, but it was significant enough to actually, it made a difference, is what you pretty much can say. And the Phantom Lancer, last ban out here from Team Empire. I was not expecting the Phantom Lancer in terms of this lineup. They do like a bit of push, not much, but a tiny amount. So that would have been something that the Phantom Lancer would have solved. I would say something like a Void in this particular game would not actually be bad. Faceless Void is definitely a good pickup for Ninjas in Pajamas.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Excuse me, just had to clear my throat. That game number 1 completely ruined it. And that's what happens when you sit around and cast every day. I should probably give it like a 1-day break or something like that. Try to cast 2 games in 1 day and then give it a break. Because casting every day is not super good for it. And what are we looking at here? I'm expecting this to be a Unison fan. Is it gonna? Maybe Era. Queen of Pain. And I'm still not entirely positive where the Queen of Pain and the Templar Assassin fits into this lineup. But that is probably what they're looking to do, like try to mess with Team Empire. But they're definitely taking their time fighting that last carry that they need. I would still say the Void in this case would be super good, especially because you have the Queen of Pain Scream. Ogre Magi doesn't work half that bad from the distance. You got 3 ranged heroes as of right now. Disruptor static field can pin them all in place, can kind of set up the chrono. It's actually going to be a Sven, which is not a very bad, or actually a very, very excellent pickup as well. So that's going to be a safe lane farmer. So this is going to be TA mid and Queen of Pain off lane. That's my prediction. Templar Assassin's not a super good off laner. She does have the refraction to deal with harass up against a lineup like this, but I don't think she's all that good of an off laner. I'm too push heavy with the side blades. And the Spirit Breaker, so this is going to be an offlane Spirit Breaker. That's interesting. That is very, very interesting. I don't agree with it at all, but that's for Team Empire to decide. I feel they are just playing this into the hands of the Templar Assassin right now with that Spirit Breaker lineup or pickup, who's all about getting that initial first couple of damage or first couple of bashes and that initial damage basically. And I mean, it works well like with the or against somebody like an Ogre Magi, or not actually a disruptor. You can just glimpse him back, but Sven not either. Probably actually works best against the Ogre Magi, but not really too well against the other heroes. But it's going to be an offlane Spirit Breaker. Joku who's going to be picking him up. So we got Mr. Resolution on a signature Shadow Fiend. We do have Mrs. Vengeful Spirit picked up by Fly. Spirit Breaker played by Yoku is going to be going up on top and expecting a lot of harass, picking up a Tango, Salve, and Stout Shield. Just immediately out. Lina picked up by Aloha Dance, so it's going to be a support Lina in this game. They're going to be trying to find some farm or get some farm on Silent, who's going to be playing the all-carry Slaughter in this particular game. And on the side of NIP, we got Hanskin. Sitting on the Disruptor, we got Templar Assassin currently actually sitting. This is a mid Templar Assassin. Very much a mid Templar Assassin. And the Unison fan has picked up the Queen of Pain, so she's going to be going into the off lane with Seal Kit on the Ogre Magi as of right now. And Sven going to be picked up by Arrow up on top. I'm actually really liking this Sven pickup. currently. I'm liking NIP's lineup a lot, but last time I tried to predict, I predicted an Empire win and they lost. So, you know, you can see how well it actually goes for me currently. We do have... What we're missing? Just... I don't think we actually got the entire... I think we got the entire lineup covered. On both sides, NIP going to be securing that top rune, whereas Empire, they're going to be satisfied with the bottom run. At least for right now.
The battle begins.
Nobody inside the rush pit silent.
Blessings.
As Resolution's going to be picking that up, going to be working his way towards an early bottle. Actually, just getting a extra pair of tangos, expecting a lot of harass out from Limp on this middle lane. That was the hero I was actually missing. But yeah, some quick backup here from Fly. Nice, it's going to be blocking the way for him and then rotating towards that bottom lane. It looks like they will actually dual lane it. I did say that Ogre doesn't work very well in the dual lane, but with a Queen of Pain, it's absolutely incredible. Because if you look at it, there's going to be so much... The burst damage is there from Queen of Pain. And the Ogre's got the stuns with the Fire Blast. Plus the DOT damage off the Ignite there. And Silent, they don't want to give this guy free form. And up on top, it's going to be so difficult for Yoku. Because the charges, they're just going to get glimpsed back. And Thunderstrike is going to go out on him immediately. Era doing a lot of work here. So I'm really liking this lineup out from NIP. And this tri-lane down here on bottom should be having so many problems. Plus, they can play defensively as well with the Ogre. Even though it's only a single target stun, it's still a lot of harass with the Ignite. Even though it's kind of cost heavy in the early game. If Unison Fan gets a quick bottle, he can just keep Seal Kit up to mana as well. And even have him take a bit of harass. Silent is they're just throwing out so much harass on him as of right now, and they don't want him to get absolutely anything at all. Era taking the lead on the CS board, even out farming the Shadow Fiend, who's currently having a little bit of trouble at least, trying to deal with Limp here. Yeah, up in the top lane, the dual lane should be more than enough. Up against Yoku, who is now gonna get completely stunned up, and is gonna maybe be able to get out of there. Yep, there is no glimpse as of right now. Could have maybe actually dropped it for a kill. But didn't, yeah, he didn't have the mana. Not on time. So Yoku forced to pop that, forced actually to get a reading or a regen as well. That was probably not the rune he was actually hoping for, because he just burned up all of his, he just burned out his salve. Could have potentially waited. Nah, there was a rune or a ward there as well. But yeah, Limp looking at the fastest bottle of the two, perhaps. No, it's actually going to be Resolution who's looking at the fastest bottle. Does have a couple more last hits than Limp does. Down the bottom lane, we do see a few clashes. Unison Fan is going to be able to blink down to the low ground, and I don't think that's the target they got to go for. I think they just got to get the early kill on the Ogre, try to work around him, and try to remove the support on Unison Fan, because he's going to be fighting farm regardless. So maybe just try to focus down the Ogre, make sure he basically can't support this this Queen of Pain, and maybe even force him to go up on top on the tri-lane to find at least some form of security. And it looks like he will be going back to base. You basically got an Ogre with no mana, and that's a useless Ogre. So Resolution taking a lot of damage here. Limp using those melt strikes to burn him out of health. Unison Fan, they got him caught off at Lohadans. It's not exactly easy to hit a Unison Fan with a blink dagger, and it's just going to be blinking right past him. Smoke. Bought an Ogre, so it looks like they want to make something happen early here. They could give Unison Fan a couple of levels, get a, like 1 or 2 points in the Scream, and then just have him rotate top to try to pick off this this Spirit Breaker, because they do have enough stun in the Stormhammer. So right now it's a 2-second stun. They have Charge should actually go through the kinetic field, but they do have a bit of burst damage up from Disruptor, and also with the extra burst damage up from Scream of Pain. Scream of Pain, not Screen of Pain. Scream of Pain. It should be more than enough. Plus Ogre stun in case you just need to follow it up. And Boots. Now picked up, or actually power threats already by Sven. He's farming super well up top Era. And Limp. He's got Boots as well. It's actually just disregarded the bottle, but then again he doesn't have a whole lot of rune control as of right now. He's not the best in terms of runes. Yoku. He's just gonna be sitting, waiting, maybe for a charge here. Oh, nice pull there. Out from Hanskin, gonna be securing a completely dead creep wave and more creeps for Arrow to farm up. The rotations though, Seal Kid and Unison Fan, they are smoked up. They're looking to gank the Shadow Fiend here. As he's gonna be invising up himself, so Smoke's gonna get broken and Shadow Fiend is invis. Rotating up into the jungle. I think he might be looking for stacks here. There is one stack to take. Down there. Resolution. Oh, he's gonna get body blocked by Seal Kid actually. Now the charge is in on Seal Kid. It might be the first blood. There is a Vengeful Spirit as well, and it's gonna be more than enough to bring him down. First blood goes on to Yoku.
The first of many a blooded enemy.
And Spiritbreaker, he's got the Open Venom as well. He is prepared for Limp. He's ready to charge. And this is not something that an IP could afford to actually give up. Because if Empire starts to snowball, they've got it. Because a Sven without farm is dreadful, so if they find a couple of kills, at least on the Era, it's problematic. Plus, Spiritbreaker is not a guy who does well with farm, but he's somebody who does well on kills, or with kills. You need to get Spiritbreaker snowballing to make sure that he can actually get those pickups that he need. Limp has got a Bottle Illusion rune, so might want to be able to push in the towers just a little bit. As Yoku, just sitting in there, he's just sapping experience for now. Not really looking to contest the lane too much, and we might have a bit of a clash here. Hanskin, he's in a bad spot. No, it's all I always want to fly. Was actually in a bad spot. Yoku coming in for Hanskin now is maybe going to be. Oh, yeah, glimpse back up to the high ground. It's going to be one dead Vengeful Spirit. Nice little glimpse there, up by Hanskin. That could have been so funny. Had Yoku gotten a bash there, he would have bashed him onto the high ground. And Shadow Fiend getting himself those power treads. And let's disregard the ulti, of course, and work this way in on the Necromastery. Just make sure that he gets those extra souls. Doesn't really need the presence of the Dark Lord until later. It's not all that of a good spell in general. I'm not entirely positive why it's actually a part of him, because it seems like nobody really uses it. Or nobody really tries to benefit from it. In the early stages at least. But then again, you know, he's not really that much of a roaming hero immediately unless he finds a haste rune. So it's a bit weird that it's actually a part of him. It could get buffed. I feel in it could just get a bit of a buff maybe either on the reduction or just make it a cast spell instead of having to be an aura. And then give it a bit of a buff on the reduction. Maybe buff it by like 1 or 2 and then make it a cast spell. And have it, or just have it scale a bit better. Seal Kid. Gonna be rotating up to the high ground. Limp is going for that lower bottom moon right there. Does he have a bottle by now? No, yeah, he does. Just picked up the Ring of Aquila first. He's actually looking somewhat solid on farm, considering the fact that it was a Shadow Fiend he was up against. It's, of course, ranged versus ranged, so it's going to be rather evenly split, except for the fact that Shadow Fiend is a better last hitter once he gets going than a Templar Assassin is. Hanskin sitting inside the woods, going to be going for that pole camp again. And Yoku, I think he's going to be trying to steal it this time. Bull is going to latch, but yeah, Yoku just going to be forcing Hanskin out. And this is the only fight or farm Hanskin's actually going to get by Yoku. Are they going to glimpse him back? They're going to wait for the charge away. Nope, they're going to glimpse him immediately. Are they going to be able to get enough? There's a kinetic field, but that's not going to stop your Spirit Breaker. And now Resolution, Aloha Dance, and the Vengeful Spirit rotating up. Fly. Where they're looking to go around. Stun out on Resolution. Seal Kid, he knows he's in trouble. There is the kinetic field, and that's on point. But Seal Kid is going to fall regardless. Era, though, is now charged up. He's in so much trouble. As Shadow Fiend with a haste rune is moving in. Is he going to be able to get under the tower? Yes, he is. Yoku going to abandon, and now Limp has rotated in. Likewise with Hanskin, but they might actually be in trouble. Going to be getting that double kinetic field again. Sven, you don't have a whole lot of mana. Era, you got to really be careful here. Where did Queen of Pain go? She was there, but doesn't have the Sonic Wave just yet, so no point in fighting it. And that's another way that this NIP lineup, they actually synergize very, very well. That is the Kinetic Field in a Static Storm in a Queen of Pain ult. Because that should spread almost enough. That's gonna hurt so much once that actually comes online. And Bottle now out on Unison Fan as well. Resolution looking for another rune. If it isn't gonna be Bounty Rune, okay. Double damage rune for Silent though. It's gonna be helping out his last thing. And they've made the issue again that Empire or that Nip did last time. They let the Slaughter alone, or left him alone. And he's gonna get big, and he's gonna get big fast. And he's gonna be so problematic, especially up against somebody like the Disruptor, or actually even the Templar Assassin with that True Sight. That was probably why they looked to pick him up, not because of the Slithering Crush, but just because of the Amplify damage. Which is absolutely problematic if you look at it from Limp's point of view, because he's got the Melt Strike, yeah, but he doesn't have the invisibility that it brings. Yoku clearing traps, he's got a wards down. It looks like they're just trying to basically counter this Templar Assassin in every possible way, but they cannot forget about Sven. He's currently sitting on the most last hits, and they're not even going to be able to bring him down, so... Yeah, he's sitting on the very most last hits at the... he was sitting on it because Shadow Fiend's going to be taking the last hit in a second, and then completely screwing with my credibility. But yeah, Sven, he's sitting on second to most last hits, looking somewhat solid in farm. Got the Mask of Madness, the Power Treads, and a Bracer. So should be set for at least a good little while here. Although, because Resolution got that one kill, he's about 1,000 ahead. But now the entire fight erupts on mid. Always going to fly. He's going to get stuck inside the Kinetic Field and the Static Storm. But was not on point. And Loadon's nice stun out, but nice ultimate out from Unison Fan. Resolution is in trouble. He's getting stunned up. They've only lost his win so far. Hanskin is going to be trying to make it back out. Yoku is not going to be able to charge up in 7 seconds, and he's only going to be fighting Hanskin. This is not worth it for Empire. Silent is going to be the only one walking away from it. The Disruptor and the Sven were the only one to drop. Disaster play from Empire. Got completely caught out on the wrong side of the tower there. And I gotta say, a nice ulti up from Queen of Pain. Catching out 2. Though, Lohadance did everything in her power, / his power, or Lena did everything in her power, Lohadance did everything in his power, to try to avoid it. Laguna Blade did rip as well. It looked like they just wanted to get on this friend, because as soon as he was in, he got jumped. Charge on Unison Fan. I'm not sure that's the woman you want to charge. Although they do have a lot of backup. Cooldown is on 6. Now Limb rotating it as well. Everything is smoke. We might see a second fight. Your Kinetic Field is off the mark. But it's going to be preventing Yoku from doing anything. And this looks like the target for this fight. Limb is going to get stunned up. They do have the Sentry Ward down. Limb taking so much damage. Is he going to be able to make it back out? I don't think so. As it's going to be a double for Resolution so far. Now the second Kinetic Field. Static Storm is going to follow up as well. But Hans can only trap in 1 again. Limp is not going to be able to make it out, I think. Nope, not going to happen. They're going to try to burn through the refraction, and there it is. That's the kill. Seal Kid. This might be a full 5-man wipe. It would be a disaster for Nip. Coming off such a good fight, and yep, they're going to be going down. An ultra kill. Whoa, ultra kill for Resolution. Some plays. And that is one snowballing Shadow Fiend. That's exactly what they wanted to avoid, NIP. And it's just happened. And Silent also survived that fight. So there's going to be one Crick Roche and probably Mina a tier 1 as well. Because I don't think they can take that fight twice. As Lena, she's working her way towards the Laguna Blade as well. In terms of mana. Very, very close to. I don't think Nip can check that fight immediately again. They burned out 1 ultimate, 2 ultimates. Yep, they burned out 2 ultimates in that fight. And it still wasn't enough. That is some serious damage coming up from Empire. They gotta figure out a way to work against that. And I think it was just Hanskin's Kinetic Fields. They just weren't on point. The Kinetic Field and the Static Storm just not happening there. If they can get the proper fight though, if everything goes the way of Nip in a fight in terms of like getting everything off, they're gonna win regardless of Empire's current state. Because yeah, Shadow Fiend, holy moly, Disruptor. Mega killing streak out from Resolution. But yeah, what I was about to say, the Shadow Fiend, he's gonna be able to right click regardless. But that's also pretty much all they got. Because Slaughter, he's gonna be trapped in there within melee range. And we have 3 ranged heroes out in this Nip team. And Sven, he likes to be in the middle of everything. That's exactly where he does the most work. Plus, there are no stuns to take care of him. Looks like this will be the start of a BKB coming up for Era here. Plus the TP scroll. And the mid tower, uncontested. Catch-up Midas now purchased on Slaughter. He's not exactly been getting the farm I think he was hoping for. He's still solid on farm, but hasn't been finding any kills. So now he's going to be leveling ahead of everybody else, or at least trying to. He's not going to be leveling ahead of Resolution. And he's working on the BKB as well. That's going to be so strong up against Disruptor. Because it should not go through, as far as I know. I don't know if they're able to wander out with BKB out of the kinetic field, but if they can get Resolution clear of it, that should be they should be in a good spot. But yeah, putting some pressure up on that top. Oh, Seal Kid. He's unable to D-ward. He's just sitting there. They gotta get a bit of vision up there. Or do they? They're just gonna leave the ward. I'm not sure who actually sees it. It is gonna be, yeah. Now they see it. They got the trap up there. They do see the ward. Hanskin, he's just gonna miss. Oh, the RNG gods. Is now gonna get charged. Silent. Oh, he's gonna pay so much for that. Silent is just gonna be able to take care of him himself, even popping the ultimate. He's gonna be burning quite far down, but still. Oh, the charge. Now jumping on Seal Kid instead is able to get the multicast off. And another one, but now the Nether Strike. Seal Kid, my friend, you're going down. Or is he? Not enough burn damage. Oh, they weren't able to finish him off. Aloha coming in too late. Where's the slave? Not going to be on point, as there is none. Limp. Nice crit coming out there. Aloha dropping him to half HP. That's the dangerous thing when you're playing TA, or when you're playing squishy heroes up against TA. She's going to burn you immediately. Maybe even can one strike you if she gets the right items for it. Looks like it's also looking like either an SNY, but I'm thinking an early BKB as well on Limp. As Yoku working with the Wildlings. Working on the Wild Wings there in Empire. They're currently taking a rather significant lead. It's almost up to 10k already. That is ridiculous off those 2 fights, and it's pretty much all of that gold is currently sitting on Resolution, as he's basically got the BKB done. Does still have the Aegis, which I would think that would definitely be a I'm not entirely positive how good it actually is at this point. I mean, it's nice for kind of a failsafe, but I don't think they're going to be actually, you know, actively spending it at this point. Limp is now going to get charged. Looks like they want to go immediately on the Templar, because Spirit Breaker, no, he's not going through. Not committing. Limp was too far back. But now they might rotate onto somebody else. Resolution, able to get everything off on Seal Kid as he just drops down, and they're able to pick him off. Easy pickings there. And now they're going to be trying to force the tower, I think. Resolution now jumping in as well. Unisum fan is everything going down on him. Double kill for the Resolution, as Limp is going to get bashed down as well. This is a disaster for NIP. Looking so good coming out of game number 4, but it's game number 5 been unable to do bugger all. They've just been outplayed. And now Yoku. He's charging on the Hanskin. This is going to be so problematic for him. Trying to just push in that top tower. Please, saying, please, give me this tower. And Vengeful Spirit trying to chase him down. Nice play out by Disruptor. Is able to TP out, is he? Yes, he should be. Yep. Not by much, though. But that is going to be your middle tower gone. And if they take an early Rax, Empire, all they really got for deep push is Sven. Okay, they got some Mokim on the deep push. It's Not amazing, but it's never good to end up against super creeps after a good 25 minutes. They might wait for Roche again until they take a fight. But there's still a bit of a while to go, so. Secret shop. What is this item? It is a Vanguard. It's going to be going the way of Spirit Breaker here. Plus he's got the Urn Charge as well, so he's basically a straight counter as of right now to Templar Assassin. The counter that they needed. And of course with the Orb of Venom. Now the rotations though, they're going all on the Spirit Breaker. He has no clue. He actually has a clue because he's rotating into the tree line. Gonna be waiting with the TP, actually gonna be charging away. Where's the stun? It's not on point, but there's a glimpse back into the kinetic field. And Yoku, you're going down, my friend. You're gonna die. But that is gonna open up a bit of room mid and bottom as Aloha Dance is gonna be working his way towards that tier 2. And Slaughter, silent. He's going to be working his way towards the tier 3. He's going to be putting some pressure on those towers, trying to force him back because looks like an IP. They want to take a top tower, and if Empire, they can put enough pressure on the tier 2s. Now they got it. It's going to go down, regardless. But might actually be in trade for that bottom tower though. Shadow Fiend now going to work with the double damage rune, and that's definitely going to be a tier 2 bottom for a tier 1 top.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
And they want to go. They want to try to intercept, maybe. No, they're not. They're actually not trying to intercept. Gonna be rotating through. Seal Kid is TPing away. Silent trying to pick somebody off. Not gonna find anybody. But yeah, they can put some pressure. If they take down this last tier 2 NIP, they don't have much left to shoot with. They should be better in the late game, NIP. But if they're never going to get to late game, it's just not going to happen. Because if NIP, if they can't get in charge of their own team fight, it's going to be so problematic for them. Because they have the setup. I mean, they have the tools. They just haven't pulled it off yet. They have the tools to do it. They have the Disruptor with the Kinetic Field into the Static Storm. If you can trap at least 3, and then Queen of Pain ulti follow-up, it's 3 dead heroes. Almost no matter how you look at it. Slaughter is maybe a bit too tanky, likewise with the Spirit Breaker. But the rest of the guys, they're going to go down immediately. You also have Limp, able to try to burst down at least the Shadow Fiend. And you got the Sven working for you as well, if the Kinetic Field Queen of Pain is not strong enough. Because Sven is amazing inside the Kinetic Field. Because of the cleave. Oh, always want to fly. You might be in trouble, my man. It's going to be trying to see if he can find the redemption kill on the Hanskin. It's going to swap him, actually. Not entirely sure what that was all about, but maybe just an attempted stall or something like that. I don't know. It's going to let go of the swap regardless. Still not entirely positive on what it was actually good for. As Silent. Oh, they're charging. They're charging for it. They want to find Hanskin. If they can pick him off immediately. Now the crush from Silent, but they're all alone up there. Silent going to be working his way through Hanskin. Going to be finding the kill, but it's going to be trading his own life. Yoku, he's in trouble as well. Aloha Dance, unable to do much. Empire backing off, and dreadful engagement here as Aloha Dance might fall as well. I'm not entirely sure what they were actually thinking. They're jumping in 3 on 5. They did manage to pick up the Queen of Pain and the Disruptor, but it's still 3 for 2. And the rubber band effect is real if you do that, because you can just tell by just that. I mean, if you look at it, you got 3 heroes dying. That's apparently, in this patch, 2,500 gold. And that's going right down the pocket of the TA and right down the pocket of the Sven. And even the Ogre Mage picking himself up a nice share as well. So yeah, Sven, he got his BKB in order. He's now starting to look more like a hero that can actually fight. TA picking up her BKB as well, as she did have it earlier. But it's going to be picking up 1,500 gold as well. So she's now looking a lot more solid. And this was a... I'm not entirely sure what Empire were thinking. That might have just been a communication breakdown. one half of the team wanting to go, the other half of the team not wanting to go, and then there's just Aloha. He's like, alright, what the fuck am I doing, guys? It was like, he kind of wanted to go, but then again didn't. And then he ended up going, and just backing off immediately. That was a bit like watching a pub engagement. I'm sorry, Empire, but that was a bit like watching a pub engagement. Now the Roshan is maybe going to get claimed by NIP here. As Empire, they're gonna smoke up themselves, they know. Oh, Nip, they gotta back out. You gotta back out. Now the Silent jumping in, plus the Spirit Breaker, everything going on in Era. He's gonna drop immediately. Queen of Pain, though, off the side. They managed to get their Aegis themselves. Limp, he's still alive in there. Maybe gonna get one that you wanna fly. Yes, he is, and now Silent. He's gonna be working his way through Hanskin. So many heroes going down left, right, and center. Silent strapped inside of the kinetic field. There's only Limp left, and a Lordance, they're able to pick her up. It's the Aegis, though. It's only the Aegis. Are they going to be going for round 2 here? Looks like they will. Nice timing off on the stun and Limp. He's going to be going down once more. And it's a 4-5-man wipe. Triple kill for Aloha Dance. Empire. They're just so far ahead at this point. This is getting ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I don't know why I just checked my messages there for some reason. But yeah, this is getting ridiculous out from
Dyer's middle tower is under attack.
Lina got the axe as well, so BKBs doesn't matter anymore. And this is a NIP team that seriously have to pull themselves together and execute a proper team fight if they want to win it. But as of this point, I just don't think they have the farm. I mean, you have a Queen of Pain who's getting outfarmed by goddamn Spirit Breaker. That doesn't happen. Spirit Breaker with a Vanguard, Orb of Venom, and Urn, plus Power Treads at 26 minutes. That is just completely unheard of. Like in terms, if you look at most of those pro games where they run a Spirit Breaker, they run him like as a position 4 and 5. That's usually fine. But when you get her outfar or him outfarming a Queen of Pain, that is when things start to get real, because usually at this point, Spirit Breaker, he barely has anything more than an urn and a pair of boots. Because he's just charging left, right, and center. But because Yoku has been able to pick up so many, or be a part of so many fights and pick up those 2 kills, he's actually fine. The Queen of Pain working her way towards an axe, realizing that, alright, I'm not going to be playing any kind of impact position this game. That is a lie. But I'm not going to be playing a hero with a whole lot of big time impact this game. So I'm going to build an axe and I'm going to try to just work everything into my Sonic Wave. Oh, this is a hideous pickup from Shadow Fiend. In terms of NIP's lineup. Butterfly. The mischance. Forcing TA. Yep, she's already working the Demon's Edge. I think she did want to turn that into a into crits. But those that Demon's Edge is now instead gonna go towards a towards an MKB, and likewise for the Sven, he's gotta get his hands on an MKB, otherwise they're never gonna be able to bring down Resolution. He's just so big and so tanky at this point. If you look at last hits, Sven, he's not even near close enough. He is actually picking up his Salt Cuirass immediately, so I think they're just trying to work everything around Limp at this point. And then when when Sven actually starts to become relevant, they're working everything into him. Oh, Queen of Pain, where did she go down? Just the Resolution. Alright, just the ultimate. Picking off one at this point. NIP, they cannot afford to lose anymore. Oh, nice stun out on Era. They're just taking him basically inside of his own base. Now Lina as well coming in with that Aghanim Scepter. Showing that off, and that's going to be one dead Sven. Vengeful swapping out. Who was that? Just okay. I think they were trying to get Yoku in, but yeah, Vengeful. You gotta sacrifice your own life in those kind of situations, and that's exactly what she did, but didn't die off it. And now they can start pressuring those tier 3s. You got a Queen of Pain down. She is back up in a couple of seconds, but you still got to Sven out for about 30 seconds. You need that stun, and you need the extra damage that's gonna be out from him. And Empire, they know this, so they're gonna be trying to force that tier 3. And they're going to be taking it just with force. And that's a pair of exposed racks at about 30 minutes. Empire playing out of their minds right now, doing exactly what Nip did to them last game. And that's just by, first of all, outplaying them, and just by playing harder. And playing more of a punish lineup than anything else. Because they're punishing the mistakes that NIP are playing, or making right now. Because their team fight is not really synergizing so well. Smoke up from there, but I'm not entirely positive this is going to end well. Unless they can find a single pick-off, maybe the Venge. Yeah, somebody drew it on the cam face. They're actually just gonna find Aloha. Oh, it's gonna be able to use and blink. Yep, just out of it, out in the way, and that's a disaster play. Now the glimpse is on Vengeful, so they're just gonna find some redemption, but it's only a Venge. You can always afford to lose a Venge, pretty much. That's not an excuse saying that Venge can feed, but you can afford to lose her. Silent. He's basically done with the AC. Basically done with it. And that's 30 minutes. I think that took... that was not Era, was it? That was Era. Last game. That took him about 40 minutes to farm because they had quite a bad early game. But yeah, Empire at this point. Everything is going the way of them right now. Limp is the only chance of a redemption currently for NIP, unless they can get some farm on this Sven. It looks like they can't really find any secure farm. As there's a double damage rune. Oh, Resolution. That's a rune you want to take, buddy. Maybe just going to be trying to find something alone or just pushing the lane in general. You don't want to be going up against the double damage rune. Shadow Fiend with a BKB, a Yules, a Blink, and a Butterfly. Plus an ultimate orb, which is probably going to get turned into a Scotty. So much damage. Just going to be clearing up the creep waves. Top lane is pushing in, so there's some nice safe farm there for Silent to take. And Empire just going to be backing off here. Going to be farming up. Disruptor, he's got a smoke available. Not entirely positive what they actually want to try to do with it. Maybe gank a smoked Empire squad. They're going to be rotating up towards the top. I think they want to try to loop around, or at least just try to contest something. Not entirely positive which way they actually want to go. Maybe this way around? I'm not positive. There are wards available right there. So they got to be careful of where they're actually walking. There's not going to be a Roshan for a minimum of 45 seconds. And now we might see a clash, though. Everything going on to Vengeful Spirit immediately. She's going to drop. No big surprise there. Empire. Looks like they want to back off here. Yoku is going to get glimpsed back. And this is Limp. They're on the front here. They're on the fighting line. As Limp. Now Era. Or Silent coming in. Era also jumping in as well. They're going to be able to catch out everybody inside of the Static Storm. Yule's going out left, right, and center. Yoku is not going to go down as of right now, but it's going to be a triple kill actually for Resolution, picking off 3 with that Requiem. And it's the 3 big ones. Holy hell. I don't think they saw that ult coming, to say the least. Yoku? I'm not entirely sure what happened to him. He just kind of left the fight. I don't know what happened. I didn't actually see it. I just saw all of a sudden Yoku was out. But yeah. That Requiem taking a triple kill on NIP. It does make it worth it, but they still lose Templar Assassin Sven and the Queen of Pain, which is a disaster for him. But then again, not a big as a disaster of as Empire suffered, because I mean they lost Silent, they lost the Shadow Fiend, they lost almost everybody. But yeah, Shadow Fiend, he's basically done with the Scotty as of right now. It doesn't take him long to actually get it. So he's sitting on 246 last hits. How's the GPM looking about? Closing in on 700. Experience per minute is actually for Slaughter, because he's got a Midas above 700. And there's the harder Tarask build, so he's going hard. This is going to be a fighting Slaughter. This is going to be up front and personal. Up close and personal, excuse me, Slaughter.
Money to burn.
Yeah, and he's sitting on... He's not going to be looking to get a whole lot of kills. But he's just going to be sitting there and tanking. Tanking for the Shadow Fiend, who has a decent health pool himself. Roche is back up in about 50 seconds. That could be an important pickup here from for Shadow Fiend. Get a double Requiem. I think it pops when you pop the Aegis. I'm not entirely positive, actually. I don't play Shadow Fiend myself, so... Played him a couple of times. Didn't actually go well, so I just kind of abandoned him, to say the least. I just felt like, alright, that's not my hero. But yeah, Roche is back up in about 10 seconds. Close to at least. 10 seconds, 15 seconds maybe. But yeah, it's back online, but there are traps all over the place. Silent, stealing, stealing ancient camps here. And Roshan is back up and going. So this is going to be a Roche for either team to contest. At this point. It looks like Resolution will enter the Roche pit first. Gonna be burning their way through. As Roshan, yep, it's gonna fall basically immediately. There's not a whole lot that them can do, and they're just gonna be falling back to their own towers. And this is definitely something they want to make something happen of. Empire. Apparently I'm getting some serious frame rate lag, frame rate issues. I don't know what is happening, but apparently I am. But regardless, Empire is going to be roaming up that middle lane, trying to work their way up towards the racks. If they can take racks off the back of this, that would be a disaster for Nib. Limp. He's going to be trying to clean up the waves. You have Resolution now done with the Scotty, so a fresh Scotty, 8-second BKB, plus an Age of the Immortal. And then he's just going to be wandering straight in there, taking all the initial damage. He doesn't even care, though. I don't think he actually needs to care. There's the Crimson Guard. Now this glimpse in. Not far enough, though. Yoku charging in on a Seal Kit. Now everything going down. Silent is going to get bursted by Queen of Pain, but not really going to matter all that much. They're trying to retreat out Seal Kit. Going to be able to get off a nice multicast there. Kinetic Field not landing on anybody. And Empire currently, they're just backing out. They lost too much HP right off the bat. They do have Slider with the cheese, so they could just they could go again. He just jumps in, blinks, eats. He should be good to go.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Or blinks, crushes, and then eats. But they're just waiting for the next creep wave here. Try to push in. There's the backdoor protection. Yep, Slider, they're in fighting mode now.
Top tower is under attack.
Shadow Fiend, who's going to be the first initiator. Slider, they have vision on the high ground now. Okur is sitting up there with the Amplify. Now they're charging. They're charging Limp, and now everything going in. They're getting trapped all inside the kinetic field. Resolution, he's going to be dropping immediately, but it doesn't matter. He has the Aegis. Aloha Dance getting bursted down by the Shadow, or by Queen of Pain. Silent is going to be taking himself at least one giant hit to the face here as Resolution takes a double kill. He's now going to be blinking out of the kinetic field. Always want to fly. Is in a lot of trouble. Is just going to be letting go of a stun to try to keep Hanskin out, Era and Hanskin out of the way. And Empire, I don't think that was as convincing as fight as they wanted it to be. And now Shadow Fiend, he's trapped inside the kinetic field. Does have the Yule Scepter in case he needs to get out. Is now going to get stunned up. If they lose him, that'll be a total disaster. Oh, nice play from Unison Fan. And it's going to be letting the ulti rip. That's one. Now Silent, he's actually back in. I think he bought back. If they can manage to find the Queen of Pain, they won't. But Resolution is going to go down regardless. There it is. Managed to bring him down twice. And Nip holding the ground. Holding their ground as of right now.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
I think Silent actually bought back for that. Oh, I wasn't able to see, but yeah. Total win for NIP there. Not a very good high ground initiation. Grouping up way too much for the Queen of Pain to let go of a good ultimate. Plus Hanskin, he had that second kinetic field in order. They did lose the Templar though, which was rather unfortunate. Who now has the MKB. Should potentially be working on the crits, and apparently actually once again have two pieces of music going on. One from the regular
Quick sprint.
one from the regular orchestra pack, and one from the second one that I'm running, which is the TFO one. As Sealkin might find Silent here, they're gonna stun him up. Why did I just remembered that I said air. Silent might find Seal Kid here. He's gonna try for the stun up. He's gonna be correcting myself here. It's been a long day so far. Sven's got the AC going for him. Disruptor got the axe as well, so yep, silenced items as well. That's beautiful. If he can get it off before the BKBs come out, there's not going to be a chance that they're going to live Empire. That is such a good axe pickup. Set duration 7 seconds. But yeah, Disruptor, very, very solid axe hero. Slider still working his way towards that heart, but that's going to help him out so much. That's going to give him at least 3k and a half. Not entirely going to be giving him 1000 HP, but it's going to be giving him a lot of HP. Which is exactly what you need on a tank and slaughter, because you can't have Shadow Fiend tank all of it. We saw what happened last time when Shadow Fiend tanked basically every single damage, or all the damage coming out. NIP, they're going to be roaming back, trying to defend their racks here. There's a Roshan up in about 4 minutes.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Pressure is being put on Empire. It looks like they want to go again, but NIP, I think they're just grouped. Oh, the missed glimpse. That's down for about 13 seconds. 18 seconds total. That scales super well in terms of cooldown, plus the range. Silent. He's gonna let go of some minus armor onto Ogre Magi here.
Dire structures.
Empire, they're pressuring their axe. They just want to take the range tracks and get out, but
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Radiant actually lost their tier 1s now, so they only got one tier 1 standing, and that's the one on mid. But then again, they don't have a whole lot to work with. They got basically only tier 4 standing between the racks and the Ancient at this point. Oh, excuse me, Empire and the racks. Empire in the throne. Damn. Now the glimpse in Silent. It's going to get trapped inside of the static field. But it's not going to be... Yep, there comes the kinetic... Static field, excuse me. That already there was the static charge. And now Hanskin is going to try to magic stick up or some... Era. He's going to get caught inside. Basically, oh, that was a very, very messy team fight. Both on me and Unison Fan is going to be fighting actually a double kill. That was a very, very messy team fight on my side. I basically got caught off guard. Resolution, oh, an ultimate. It's going to be dropping on the Hanskin. Just to sum up, what actually happened was that basically Silent went in, got dropped the kinetic field on top of him. Now Limp, though, we do still have a bit of a fight going on. Limp is going to fall. Unison Fan might drop as well. This could actually be GG. It's over. It's over. There's nothing that an IP can do at this point. It's GG. And Empire, they will be taking it in about game number 5. And I basically want to try to correct for my mistake in that fight, because basically everything screwed up in my head. Silent got immediately caught out inside of the kinetic field. And basically the static field wasn't dropped. Right off the bat. The static field wasn't dropped. And then basically the entirety of Team Empire went in, and it all just clashed together in terms of resolution, just picking heroes off left and right. And even though Queen of Pain, Unison Fan, they get a nice little kill, double kill, it was just not enough. Just Empire completely overpowering this NIP team. I do excuse for that last team fight. It's very much on me. It probably will happen again at some point, but as soon as I mispronounced static field, static charge, static field, as soon as I mispronounced Disruptor's ulti, it all just went to shit. So that's what happens sometimes. It's not something I'm very happy about, but it does happen. When you get cut out and when you're not a native speaker of English in general, that's gonna happen. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching, and hopefully you can all be gentlemen about that little screw up there. So, thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.